Hello futuristic developers, today we are building an awesome project. This is a 1x bet clone using ReactJs. This project is well suited for beginners. Believe me, you are not going to have any problem. There is no need to be an expert JavaScript, as I'll be using the best CSS practices to make sure that this project is completed using ReactJs. So here it is. You can see that we are going to do some drop down using inside React. There you can see we got some drop down on hover. There you see we can be able to change the languages, the country, and the currency using on hover. You can see there we are going to have a swipe over images. There you can see we are going to have this is an awesome project that is well suited for beginners. I'll be teaching you from the basics so that you master React. There you can see, let me show you on a mobile view. There you can see how the our web page will look like on different mobile screens. There you can see how everything will look like on different mobile views. So this is a perfect project for you to build to build a beautiful portfolio for you. So join me as we code this inside using ReactJs. Don't worry if you don't know any complicated React. This is a project that is well suited for beginners. So without wasting your time, let's start off by creating by creating a React project. Inside I've got a folder that I've created called batch. So just click on new terminal. We are now preparing to install React. Okay, make sure that your folder is empty by typing list. Then let's create a React project. Let's say npx create React app. Okay, let me move it up. Then just type. You can always put a full stop to say that install everything inside this folder, or I can just give the folder a new name. I'll call it app. Then there it is. It is now loading. So I'll have to speed up my video so that we can catch up when the installation is complete. Okay, devs, after you've finished installing your React app, what you're going to do is that we're going to start our development server. Click on new terminal. Okay, always make sure that you're in the right folder by typing list so that you see the folder that we are. To start up on the development server, we click on npm start. We type npm start. This will start our development server inside Google Chrome. Okay, this is how our basic React app look like. As you can see, we are going to be doing a 1x bet clone, so it is supposed to look like this one. So now inside our development, I'm going to start off by making some amendments, some key amendments. Like firstly, I want to add the images folder in the, as you can see. Okay, so the images folder, I'll paste the link to the images. I'll paste the link to these two files inside the description. You can download them on my GitHub profile. So I will need this file. Just copy it and paste it inside your, like in this case, I want to paste it inside the public folder. Here, that is where I want to paste my images folder. So I just have to go direct inside the folder. Yes, inside this app, inside my app, I'm going to paste the folder. As you can see, we have pasted the folder. Now there you are. There you get the images folder inside. This is the list of the images. Now, as you can see from, if I go inside the, okay, let me in my src folder, app.js. This is what we currently have. This is the folder that we currently have, the app.js. But you can see that we have imported they're importing the file, the CSS styling from the app CSS. So I need to come here and make some changes. Okay. So to do this, I need to come in. Okay, I need to come in and replace all this content. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say inside the file, I'm going to temporarily copy this file. Just copy it and go inside the source folder. Just paste this file. Then let's come inside our development server, our Visual Studio Code. There you can see we got this normalized file. I want to collect all the CSS styling. Just click Ctrl A and copy everything and come inside our app CSS. We want to replace all the content, so just paste and paste the file. Of course, as you can see that I've pasted this CSS styling. That is obviously going to change the appearance of our folder. So let me come and check. There you can see. But now we want to delete this HTML tag. Come inside the app.js and you can see this text, I want it deleted. So let's say we are coding and let's take a look at we are coding. Okay, they're saying that if you look at the message, they're saying that the logo SV, since we no longer need it, we can also as well as delete this logo. We no longer need it. Now everything has been successfully compiled. Let's come in. There you can see now this text. So I'm going to start off by now inside we're going to start off by creating our components. I'm going to start off by going inside the src folder and I'll create a new new folder. Since you have pasted your normalized CSS just before you can go, you can now remove this file. Again, we can delete the normalized file. Yeah, it's no longer necessary. So now let's go inside the src folder and create a new folder for our components. So first of all, I'm going to create a new inside the folder component. I'm going to create a hero. Remember capital letter H to start off, hero JSX. Now I'm also going to create a one for styling. Hero.css. Now we get all these two. I can temporarily shut down some files which I don't need. Okay, we can temporarily shut down some of the files that we don't need. So now inside the first of all, before you create a function, you need to have ES7 installed inside. Yes, ES7, install ES7. This one, this will help you to shorten how you create your functions. So I'm going to say RAFCE. This will create me a function. There we got our function. Then we are going to import CSS. So I'll say import. We are going to import the file CSS. Since it's inside the same folder, we just use /hero hero.css. So this is how we got our our hero. So now let me come inside the app.js file. This is where we now need to have our hero file, import hero component. So we have to say hero. Yes, like this one, auto fill for importing hero CSS. So you can see that we now have got this one. So now we can start off by styling our CSS, our hero. I will not, but I need to start off by building the code. Okay, so first of all, the most important thing is to give the class name. Let's give a class name for our hero, and we just have to call it hero class name. So now I'm now going to start adding the HTML coding. I now want to have a header. Then inside the header, I'm going to have two main divs. I'm going to call the first one top nav. Then I will have another one which I shall call div dot main head, like this. So these are the two top divs, but for now let me leave this one like this one. Let me create a special space between so that I can be able to differentiate them. Now inside the div, I'm going to add another sub div which I shall call div top nav, and we close it and we open the brackets. Now we have another new div which I shall call div container flex, then we close it and we open. Now let me have another div which I shall call beggar, then we close. Okay, let me get space. Now after that one, I'm going to open another div which I shall call left nav. Then we're going to have, I'm splitting the page into two. Let me put an in between div beggars. Then we are going to have another div which we shall call right now. So let me just copy this one and we come here and we press it. Then we just change these letters to right, like this. Inside the left div, we are going to start off by creating another left div which I shall call flexi desk. Then I'm going to paste h3 text for 1x wing. Then after that one, we create another new div. Then we create another new div. Let me just put the text inside a bit. Then we need to close it, the div. This way we are going to add some new content text and h3 and paragraph text. So I'm now adding h3 and paragraph text. Let me look at how the designer looks like inside our browser. There you can see the content that we are taking up. This is the left nav that I'm trying to create. So I'm going to replicate this div like this div which I had here before, and just copy it. Okay, copy it nicely so that you don't. Just copy it and we expand it. there, just paste another one and come again and paste another one. So let me just say remove the text. This one is called mobile, flexi mobile. Then we need to replace the contents that is inside there. So for me to replace the text inside here, I'm going to have to replace, yes, as you can see, this one is the for the smartphone. So we need these three h3 tags again to replace. Still just like copying and pasting, is not a big deal. Then we come here and we have got a class for teleg. So we might need to replace the content that is inside. Then the class name also has to change here. I'm sure the class name has to also change there. This one is called smartphone. The class name will be smartphone. Then we come in on teleg. The class name will be teleg box. Teleg box like this. So I now need one to replace the content inside. So we replace this text. And we remove this one. Let's copy this text that we have got here. And let's have a look inside our browser how it now looks like. There you can see. So we after closing the div for div teleg, I now want to add another new class which I shall call flexi. Then I'm going to give the text that will appear on offer using title, which of the title shall be called to payments, like this. Then I'll add another title for bonus div. I need to give this one for bonus, so I have to call it flexi. Then the text that will appear on hover is called title bonus. Then after starting title bonus, I'm going to have to use span. Then we've got 4,000. This is the text that is going EGP, Egyptian currency. Then let's save inside the italic capital it bonus, like this. So that does it for our left nav. Let me come and check inside the, yeah, like this one. That does it for our left nav. Now I'm going to go inside my okay, let me look at it. Yeah, if you minimize, yes, let's go for the left nav. Yeah, so we are now going to style. So now, because I've styled the left nav, let me come and check. So now we're going to style the right nav. just minimize the left nav, the left side of the nav. Yeah, you can minimize it there. There we are. So now we're going to start inside the right nav. I'm going to start off by styling the div. I say div dot. We're gonna say flexi. And for this flex, I'm going to put a model of, like you can see from the design, we have got the last 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from login to the last 5. So we've got the 5 divs. So I'm going to have to multiply this by 5. Just copy it and paste 3, 4, 5. 5. The first one will be for the QR login, the text that will appear on login. Let me say QR title capital letter QR codes login. Then we go below and we say login. Then we go for the next one. We got the next one is for registration. So I got to type registration. Then the next one is for the settings. So we need to place a title of settings. Let me type the word settings below. Then the next one is select time zone. Title select time zone. Then what I need below is a time zone. Okay, then the last one is for the language. We are going to say title select language. So we are going to have to write this is the most important thing. I'm going to start off by inserting an image inside the div. We need an image. I'll call it class name flag. Then let's import image. Source, remember we go backwards and we say inside the folder images. Okay, let's type images / England. This is an England image, so it's in PNG format. Then alt text that will appear in case the flag does not load. England is the text England. Then let's, okay, so in case of down arrow, in case I want to do a drop down, I'm going now to have to create another new div for the down for the drop down, which I shall call div text menu. Then we're going to set an input. We're going to have an input type of checkbox. So below the checkbox, I need to create another div for the flag list. Flag list. So like this. So now I'm going to add some another listings for the. Then all I'm going to do is list the images. Then for the images, I'm going to put a title for the hover effect. Then I'm going to put an image source. Then once we're done, we'll add outside the image source, we'll add a span, like which represents the country. So to save time on this one, I'm just going to, because like you can see the listings are too many, I will, like, as you can see from the image, let's look at our design. Okay, as you can see from the images are too many, so I will need to, the number of images, like 3 by 515 images. So I'm just going to paste the code so that everything is speed up. Okay, before I copy and paste, let me look at the design. Let's look at development that we have made so far. There you can see we have, but the image is not coming out correctly, maybe the spelling. So let me come and check the spelling. Let's say en. Let's see if we look at, yeah, the English flag is come out, and there's a checkbox that we have inserted. So now we're going to check inside our file. As you can see from the design of our expectations, we're going to have about 4 by 15 images. So I'm just going to paste the code so that I save time. There you can see I have pasted the codes. You can always pick the images that you want, but you can see from my design listings, I've got the text that appears on hover, and I've got the image source. The images that I've pasted inside the images folder that I've shown you below. That's where I'm driving all the images, and these are the names. These are the names of all the files that we have. File images that we have here. Let me come and save, and let's have a look at how our designer looks inside our pages. There you can see all the images have been pasted correctly. So the listings in line is correctly. So after styling this, after doing all these stylings, I can say that we have completed the top nav, this nav with the left side nav and the right side nav. So what we now need to do is to do some CSS styling so that we can make sure that our hover effects are coming, everything is coming out correctly. So I now need to style the top nav inside the file. Okay, make sure that you have imported, like I've done previously, the hero.css file. So now we're going to go inside our file, CSS file. Let me close these ones, and let's let's split the editor. Yeah, then we remove the CSS file this side, then we go inside the hero. Yeah, there you can see they are corresponding correctly, and we have got the top now. So now we're going to start off by styling our CSS. I'm first of all going to declare some variables and some global rules. As you can see, I've declared the variables. These are just the variables that I've decided to paste so that I don't waste time. But I can see we have declared the roots, the main color, over color, white color, primary color. Then there are the global rules. Margin is set 0, padding 0, box size in border box, outline none, font family, font size for all the HTML to 62.5%. Then the background is main color, then color is white. Then you get an ordered listing. We have list down none, text decoration none. So now I come inside my file. I'm now going to declare some, as you can see inside our div top nav, we have got the class container. We are going to style it. Okay, I'm going to style the container. Just copy it. We set the padding to the right 5 pixels, then padding left 5 pixels, margin left auto, then padding right to the right auto. Then let's have a look at how everything now looks after pasting all these global rules and the container styles. Let's go inside our React app. There you can see we have removed everything. Now I'm going to start the flexi. Okay, let's get this class name. We are going to say flexi display. Flexi direction. Then let's set the align items to the center. Okay, after styling, there you can see we have displayed flexi and it's now to the center. Now I'm going to put out at the width of the container on different mobile screen sizes. So to do that, I'm going to say for mobile screen minimum width 560. Let's set the containers maximum width to 540 pixels. Then for small screens, minimum width of 760 pixels. For the container, I'm going to set the width to 750 20 pixels. Then for medium screen, I'm going to set the width of the container to 960 pixels. Then for large screens, I'm going to set the container width of 1000 maximum of 1140 40 pixels. Drop nav container class. Then let me set justify content to space between. Padding, let's set it to 0 height, 6 rems, background color white. Then border at the bottom, I'm going to set to 2 pixels with a color of white. Then let's set the percent relatives. Then top nav, bigger class name, display none on by default. Then padding 1 rem all over size. Then let's have a case-up pointer. Let's on maximum width of tablets 768 pixels. I want the bigger to display to block. That's from displays now on block overview. Then background color, main color. Then let's set the top side left nav. I want the width to be 40% and then background color to be blue. Then box shadow, let's have a shadow of color, blue, light blue. Then line height 1 rem, height 100%. Then maximum width of 991 pixels. That's for tablet screens. I'm going to set the top nav to let's set a width of 50%. Then the top left nav div, first div I want it to be inner width of 20 pixels, 20% width of 20%. Then height, let's inherit. Then border 1 pixel, white color. Then just strike on the space evenly. Then font size, let's give it 1,2 rems. A case-up pointer. Transition, I want a background of 0,3 is. Then box shadow 0,3 is. Okay, this is how my screen looks like after I've set up these properties. So this is how my screen now looks like. I need to continue styling. So let me start off by setting the maximum width of mobile screen to the left now. Let's say display none on mobile view. Then flexi direction color, position absolute height 25, top 70, left 0, set index 4. Then let's style the left nav bar on over, display flexi. Then the top nav, first the div inside the left nav, again set it a width of 100, height 100. Then top nav on over, box shadow none, background color light blue. Then the last div, we set it to flexi direction color, then background color, primary color, then a box shadow. Let's have a view of how our design looks like. There you can see it's taking shape. Then let's have a over effect on the last div of last type, box shadow none. Then background color green. Then the div of the font div inside the left nav bar. Let's have a background color of light blue, box shadow light blue. Then on over, I want this to be remove the box shadow. Then let's set a background color of light blue. Then the div last of type inside the italic maximum width 100%. Then the div italic font size 2 rems. Then inside the left div, inside the class name desktop, let's then on the mobile view class name and the telec div class, I'll set the position to relative. Let's have a look at how our design looks like. Okay, I need to close the brackets before so let me add the smart div for the smart, then the telec d class name div, the telec box. Let's set the position to absolute top 7, set index 1, padding rem 1, box shadow light gray, border radius 1, background color over, font size 1,2, line height 1,5, then color white, overflow. Let's set it to auto, display none, and let's have a look at. There you can see it's taking shape. There you can see we have removed by setting some values to some CSS property to display none. We have removed everything. So all those the drop down and all the inner text will be displayed on click, but otherwise by default on desk view there is nothing that we can see. Then let us style the div class batch up, minimum width of 20 rems, height 11 rems, left 1,6 rems. Then let's style before and the mobile class before, then the telec div class before, content empty, percent absolute, border style solid, border width 1,5, and then I'll set the back border color to transparent. Yeah, transparent border 1,5 rems. Then set index 1, left 2 rems, display none. Then we are on the, I'm now going to style the on hover on the page app, on hover on the desktop display block. Yeah, this is a drop down that will appear when we hover through, and then the smart div with smartphone, minimum width 15 rems, left 1,6 rems, height. After styling these properties, I want to look at the new design on the move view. There you can see, there you can see, there you can see the design is taking shape as our expectations. So now I'm going to start on the left, on the right side, which is called the right nav. Top nav, left nav, mobile view, smartphone, hover, and then I'm also going to add a mobile view before. Let's set display to block. Then let's target the telec box, and then I'm going to set the minimum width to 12 rems. Height 6 rems, left 1,6 rems. Then let's target the telec box, div telec box on hover and before. Let's set display block. Then that's it for the left nav. Let me see. Oh, they can see. It's now, they can see. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now I'm going to start the right nav, the right side, or the right nav. This one begins there up to this one. These last two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the last fives. So we're going to have to come inside our CSS file, and let's start with the right nav. Top right nav, I'm going to set width 50%, height 100%, justify context, flex end, then text align center, then background color light blue, box shadow, font size 1,2 rems. Then after styling this one, we're going to style the inner div of the right side. Then we set the width to 18%. Then we give a height of inherit, border 1 pixel solid white. Then justify content to space evenly. Then transition background with ease 0,63 and box shadow 0,3. Then cursor pointer. Now let's have a look at how the progress that we have made so far. There you can see everything is going wonderful. Now let me put in a maximum width of 700. Let me start up to maximum width of 767 pixels. Then for the top right nav bar, we're going to make changes. I'll set display to none, then flexi direction column, then position absolute, height 25 rems, then top 70, right 0, set index 4. Then also I want to style the bigger nth third child inside this, inside the media query. I'm going to set the width to 100%. Yeah, display flex. Okay, we're going to set display flex. Then let's style the right nav div width 100%, height 100%. Now I'm closing the media queries. Then let's style the div on hover, box shadow set it to none, background color light blue. Then I want the second div inside. Okay, let's set the background color 0, box shadow. And then let's set the shadow to 0. Let me come and check the progress that we have made. Okay, the compilation needs me to put in some brackets, closing brackets. Okay, then but let me close the on over. So these are the changes that you can see. These are the changes that you are seeing. How beautiful our design is coming out, just like expectations of matching up to our design. So now I'm going to come inside, and I'm now going to start the third empty child. For the third empty child, I'm going to set a width of 20%, then background color, then let's have a box shadow. Close it, then open a media query for the right now third child width. Let's give it one mother view of 100%. Now we close our media query. Now I'm going to style this on hover for the 30th child of the div. Inside the right nav, I'm going to give it a box shadow of none. Set the properties of box shadow, then background color light green. Now I'm going to style the italic inside the right div, where I'm going to give it 2 rems. Then I'm going to target the top nav right div, the div of the last type, I'm just going to justify content center. Then I'm now going to add in some styling on the flag. We are going to set the width to 100. Now let's come and check inside our browser. There you can see we have worked onto the right side. We have styled the right side. This right side, it's almost very identical to our design. So but I still need to do some drop down and make sure that it looks as close to the perfection. So to do that, let's come inside our CSS file. On the right div, I'm now going to style the image for the flag, and let me put the width to 50, maximum width of 100%. Let's for the menu, let's set the position to relative, transition duration 0.2. WebKit will do for different browsers. Then let's start the menu input class name. Let me give it a top of 0, then cursor 0. Then let's set the opacity to 0, display block, then padding 0, margin 0, border 0, position absolute, we set height of 100%, width of 100%. Now I'm going to perform a on check so that we get a we get a drop down. So I'm going to say menu list, then let's set transform along the y-axis to 1, then also help kit that will help us on different browsers. Then now we are setting top right nav bar flag list. Let's say display flex rep or position absolute z index 1, then background main color, then let's save to the right 10%, left top 135, transform along the y-axis to 0, then transform from origin top left, then transition duration 0,2, WebKit for transform and WebKit for transition duration. Now let me look at, okay, the dropdown is not yet coming out, but I need to continue styling. It will come out. Now I want to style the unordered listings for the flag list. Let's set display flexi rep box shadow. Then we give it a background color of variable. Now we're styling the closing it. We're now styling the listings. For the listings inside the flag list, I'm going to set the 1 rem and 2 rems, then width and 10 rems, margin bottom 5 pixels, word break keep all, white space no rep, display flexi, align items to the center. Let's just first connect the space around, position relative, cursor pointer, font size 1 em, then color variable white. Now we are going to style the top nav, right nav, menu flag list on hover. I want the background color to change. Then let's set the flag listings image maximum width of 60%. So now it's time to look inside our design. So this is the progress that we have made so far. This is the progress that we have made as we try to go along with our to complete our challenge.